Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I will be talking about Martin Luther King Jr. and some Islamic reflections we can have based off of some things he said. But before we begin, please subscribe and watch all the way through the video as it helps with the YouTube algorithm, and inshallah you'll get good deeds for it. So, Martin Luther King Jr., there's two quotes I'm going to mention. He said, "We must use time creatively in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do the right thing, to do right." And the second thing that he said was that the quality, not the longevity, of one's life is what is important. So, some things we should note is that life is short. We should acknowledge that, scientists and stuff, they've said that the earth is like billions or millions or however years old and stuff, right? And that the galaxy is even older and stuff, and even like looking at your own thing, think about like how much history has happened, right, over the course of the entire world, and how your lifespan compared to that is a really small fraction of it. We should remember that we're not immortal. In the end, we're all going to die. In the end, we're all going to have to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the only one who's the everlasting. He is the only one who doesn't need anyone and cannot die and is independent of everyone, etc. Everyone else can die. Even the angel of death will taste death. That's one of the things that will happen. And we should remember that even then, after everything is gone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will still be there. But we won't. At the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't need us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is independent of us. Okay? And keeping in mind these things, think about these things, and think about how Jannah is forever, And Jannah is eternal. You can get anything you want, So the next thing that I want to talk about, which relates to what I said earlier, was don't care about what others think about you when you follow Islam. And if you look at Martin Luther King Jr., there was a lot of people who disliked him, And his death, he was assassinated. Why? Because people didn't like his beliefs, And yes, Martin Luther King Jr. fought for a righteous thing. And some people may look at that and think to themselves, well, we don't have segregation nowadays. What am I supposed to fight for? You're supposed to fight for Islam, Just fight for Islam, And you don't even need to go out and protest, You can casually be yourself. Be a good Muslim. Show people what Islam looks like, And you'll get good deeds for that, inshallah, And, Martin Luther King Jr., he died for his beliefs, okay? And inshallah we can die in the path of Allah, And we should remember that even if we don't feel like what we're doing is working, right? We feel like, things aren't going to change, make dua, have faith in Allah. Allah is the most powerful. He can change anything. He can change anything He wills, okay? You just make dua for it. And after making dua, you feel like, okay, well, things are still not getting better. Well, then remember that at the end of the day, success lies in the hereafter, You don't see results in this life, that's okay. This life is not perfect. If you think this life is perfect, you're going to struggle. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be sad. You're going to be angry. You're going to feel all these negative emotions. And we should remember that success lies in the hereafter, in the akhirah. We should remember that success lies in the eyes of Allah, not in the eyes of anyone else. Today we look back at the civil rights movement and we think that like, oh, that was so successful. And I'm not saying that wasn't successful. Think about the people who fought against segregation but saw no results. Think about those people. Those people, if they didn't believe in Islam, they might have felt, betrayed or depressed because they saw no results in their life. And that's something beautiful that we should remember about Islam, is that Islam is a way for a Muslim to always win. You know, you die because of your beliefs, well, that's a win. You survive and you hold on to your beliefs, that's a win. You betrayed your beliefs, but you seek forgiveness, that forgiveness is a win. You know, there's so many ways to win that in Islam, and that's something we should remember, we should cherish. So please, cherish it. Please cherish Islam, and don't betray your Islam. Islam doesn't need you, but you need Islam. Jazakallah khairan kaseera for watching. Please subscribe, and inshallah you'll get good deeds.